Chapter 6. Jordan Crosby grew up as the son of an ironworker father and a daycare worker mother. He was the first in his family to graduate from college. After law school, he took a job as a public defender and quickly realized the endless hours had no real financial benefit. He switched gears and started his own law firm. Jordan specialized in defending drug dealers, which eventually landed him in the position of King Poe's number 2. A now financially successful Jordan tried to pay off his parents' home, but they refused the generous offer. They considered him a disappointment because of the career path he'd chosen. The man who once talked to his parents about becoming a Supreme Court judge now met in dark alleyways with unsavory individuals. Jordan pulled up next to an unmarked police car in one of those dark alleyways. "We've got a problem," he said, stepping out of his blood-red BMW M4.
"Yes, we do,"
replied Detective Slugs as he exited his vehicle. "I believe you received your package." Jordan smirked as he noticed Slugs' hands were trembling.
"There wasn't much in it,"
Slugs said. His pale face covered in sweat beads made him look desperate. "Your habit is getting expensive for us. You may have to pay for your supply."
"I'm going through a nasty divorce. You know that," he snapped. "I'm completely tapped out."
"If you can solve a problem for us, we may locate some more product for you."
"Let me know what I can do, and I'll do it."
"Someone is looking into our business within the police department."
"Who?"
"That's what I need you to find out."
"Consider it done."
Jordan pulled out a bag of pills, and Slugs snatched them with his shaky hands. Slugs popped them into his mouth, swallowing them dry. Chapter 7. Dante felt the pressure of the cold metal on his back. Rage stirred up inside him. Someone brought a gun into his grandmother's house? "Either put the gun down or shoot me," he told them. The gun shook against his shoulder blades, and he turned. Mom Edna stood with the gun pointed at his chest. "What the?" a voice said. The pair spun around. Brian stopped in the doorway momentarily before rushing over and taking the gun from the old woman.
"I woke up and little Eric was gone."
She looked at Dante, her voice quivering. "Everything's fine," Dante smiled at her.
"I saw a man standing over the baby and I just grabbed one of Brian's guns," she explained.
Mom, Brian looked at her, shocked.
"You knew I had guns?" "You know Mom always knows everything that's going on in this house," Dante said, looking at his cousin.
Brian glared at him.
"Of course I knew about your collection of guns in my house,"
she replied. Her voice was as sharp as the anger on her face. Dante told Mom she needed to sit down, and he helped her to a chair in the living room while Brian put the gun away. A few minutes later, Brian entered the living room and saw Dante kneeling next to their grandmother, holding her hand. Dante, Kira, and Brian grew up more like siblings than cousins, especially after the death of their parents.
"What's the golden boy doing back here?"
he snapped. Dante stood to face his older cousin by 2 years who towered over him.
"This is my home. Is that a problem for you?"
Brian walked closer to Dante, and the two stood toe-to-toe as the room filled with tension. "Not yet, but it's still early."
"I am just happy all my grandchildren will be under one roof, at least for a little while,"
Mom said, trying to cut through the tension between her 2 grandsons. Dante stepped back from his cousin and turned to his grandmother and asked where Kira was.
"Doing what she must to take care of little man,"
Brian said in a sharp tone. Mom Edna held her hand out to Brian, and he quickly knelt near.
"Your sister is doing the best that she can, but nothing or no one will lessen the pain of losing the man she loved, or little Eric losing his father."
She smiled and squeezed Brian's hand.
"But you can help now by walking away from the life that took 4 years from you."
Brian kissed her cheek, standing. "Remember," he said, turning to Dante, "you have the sofa." Brian went upstairs as Dante stared after him, still confused by his cousin's anger. Dante turned to his visibly worried grandmother. "It's going to be okay," he told her. She looked up at him.
I pray every day for God to look over my grandchildren and for them to walk the right path, my mom said sadly. But the devil lurks around every corner.
Dante, who was not sure if he believed in God, just smiled.
The devil in this city calls himself a king, and I fear he will destroy both of your cousins, she muttered with sadness in her voice. I can't lose anyone else.
She glanced at an old picture of her fraternal twin daughters that sat on a nearby table. The frame held the smiling faces of Lisa, Brian and Kira's mom, and Shelby, Dante's mom. Tears ran down her cheeks.